Hello, I'm Quinny. Welcome to the channel. In this video today, guys, we're going to be going through 3 ways to win on SoRare. This is a video that's quite simple, quite basic. I always have a lot of fun talking about this platform. I hope you enjoy the video. Like, subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff, guys. And let's get stuck into it. Now, although all these individual, PowerPoints, if you like, are all quite simple and quite basic, there's a lot of nuance we're going to be diving into on this in terms of how you should be looking at things and how you can be looking at things, okay? The first one is speculation, okay? So speculating on the market, so you're picking up cards out of form, injured, and you're hoping for them to increase in value for whatever reason. The main driver for a lot of value on SoRare is their playability in SO5 and SoRare data and all these other things, One Shot League, their ability to capture you more prizes. But the speculation on what cards will be best served for you is individual to you. The amount of users is growing every day, every week. Form changes for players every week. T&Cs change all the time as well. And with the main currency of the game being driven in Ether, the movements in Ether can make it quite tricky to really nail down what is the best entry point and exit point on a specific player. But one of the nuanced parts of all this that really does go kind of understated is the churn, is the yield that you can get out of a specific card. If I look at my guys here in my gallery, the one thing that I'm always looking at when I've got successful lineups, I've got winning teams, is I like to look at the cards that are playing a part in that. I look at this lineup and it's pretty obvious, so I'm going to examine in a bit more detail. That's Ao Tanaka. So whenever I look at the card, and Ao was a very expensive purchase for me at the time, in hindsight it was a very good deal, very good price. Hindsight has 20/20, of course, but I look at the cards at this, look at the list, I look at the cards, 11 cards this guy's picked me up, as well as a good bit of referral on the way as well, for getting podium places and stuff. And those types of cards are really good to speculate on. Ones that you're grabbing that are young, maybe in and out of form, and then they hit big and they're in good form, then you're either pulling churn out of them in terms of rewards and tournament entries and all that kind of thing, or you may be able to sell them back into the market for a profit versus where you paid for them. Now, Ao Tanaka is a poster child of the platform. He's one of the best young players probably in global football for his position. So finding him very, very cheap is going to be very difficult. Finding a player like him who's maybe a year or two earlier on in their journey, to professional football or to stardom or whatever you want to think of it as, is where the speculation part comes in, because you're speculating on the form improving, their transfer coming through, all this type of thing, okay? And speculating can be very profitable, especially if you're staying away from ETH as being the value metric. If you're sticking to dollars, pounds, euros, whatever, it can be a bit easier, and you can be a bit more cold in terms of your decision making and the execution on different decisions. But speculation is the first one. The second one is probably my favourite, and again, it's one that is quite simple to understand, to get your head around, but it's one that's kind of, for me anyway, overlooked by a lot of managers, okay? And that is produce. What is your gallery actually able to produce? So when I look through my club, I don't know how many cards I've got off the top of my head. Let's say it's 130 or so. It'll probably be a little bit easier to even just look at this on my SoRare data page, but I can tell you from a couple of clicks on this how many cards I do have and how many of them are rewards. So I can actually, with the cards that I'm buying and I'm bringing into my gallery, the NFTs that I'm buying from the market, or the primary or the secondary market, I am actually able to churn out rewards. So I've produced 63 NFTs from my success in the platform. I've sold off the thick end of 40 odd of them, and I've still got 19 left behind. So that 19, those recruits that I've kept in the club, that I've won, are 3 NFTs, or produce. There is actual product that I've managed to churn, I've managed to get out the game by playing it and being good at it. On top of that as well, the other thing that your club is able to churn out for you is Ether. Now, the Ether payouts will be pinned into dollar amounts, okay, as we go forward, but nonetheless it will still be an Ether payout. So your gallery and your club has to be built in a way where you have that in mind, that is the produce it is going to produce for you, is not just cards but Ethereum as well, depending on what levels of the game that you're at. And the produce part of it, you know, you can use that to build yourself a position in Ethereum if cryptocurrency is something you're curious about or something you want to maybe delve into or whatever. You can use that as wallet ammunition to go back into the market with. And of course the cards you can use then to reinforce your team, upgrade your lineup perhaps, or even trade them in the market against another one. But that is the second way that you win on this, is by getting involved in the tournaments and, you know, actually churning out produce, you know, from finishing 42nd or, you know, whatever the place might be. The third and final one is one of these ones that's almost like a guilty pleasure, okay? But I call it glory, you know. Entering tournaments, getting stuck into, you know, the leaderboard, watching football, really following it, really becoming attached to your cards and your club and the strategies that you deploy. The glory of it all and being able to hold yourself out is that these are my cards. I bought this guy when he was £2.40. I bought this guy when he was £43 or whatever. The glory, I finished podium. I picked that guy. I knew he was going to play, or I knew he'd get swapped onto penalty duty, you know, whatever it might be. These are the glory factors that, you know, isn't really attached to money in the market and cards and all that kind of stuff. It's the human nature part of it, you know, that makes the game engaging, that makes the game worth playing, that makes it enjoyable to actually partake in, you know, is that hunt, is that glory, you know. Getting your name up in lights, getting yourself on the leaderboard, be able to go on the Twitter sphere, go on to any of the social media channels that you follow, the Discords, all these different places, and be able to call it, you nailed it, you're up in the leaderboards every week, you're absolutely killing it. And I just can't say it enough, guys. It's a game. Winning for me is the best way of actually winning the game, is actually being top of the leaderboards, getting stuck in, and, you know, really engaging with the gallery and trying to grow the club in an organic way that feels good to you. You know, it fits your mold, it fits your style, it fits your personality. Your gallery, your club has its own identity. That for me is one of the biggest ways of winning. So when anyone jumps on, and I'm quite fortunate that I'm in this position, you know, because of timing and all the rest of it, agreed, okay, whatever. But when I look at my club, and when you guys look at my club, no doubt, I love it. I love it. I absolutely love my club. I love all the cards I've got, and I love building lineups, and I love getting stuck into leaderboards. And for me, that is the best way to be winning a game, is actually by playing the game and doing well at it. Hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. If nothing else, a wee bit of a sober reminder, there's more than one way to skin the cat. If you're focusing too much on one, take a wee step back and make sure you're well appraised of all avenues available to you. About to pop on the screen now some other videos I've made. I hope you enjoy them as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe, it means a lot to me. Stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one.
It's the time.